Well, hello. Today I'd like to review three books with you. These are from Michael McBride, his Unit 51 trilogy. The first one, Subhuman, came out in the year 2017. The second one, Forsaken, came out in 2018. And the final one, Mutation, came out in 2020. I will just start out by saying that this series is the book equivalent to fast food. It fills you up, not particularly nutritious, not particularly memorable, but it's food in your belly. So it was entertainment. It's entertaining to read. I am glad I wrote notes because it's not that memorable. I just enjoyed it while I read it, and then honestly, if I weren't doing book reviews, I'd probably never think about the series ever again. Isn't that terrible? No, but you need books like that because they're just entertaining to read when you're busy or whatever. Before I started looking at my notes, I remembered there were cone heads in it. I remembered Antarctica, and there was a lady with a tick where she would strum her fingers. And I'm glad I only borrowed this series. So if you remember the H.P. Lovecraft classic, At the Mountains of Madness, we have an expedition exploring Antarctica, and they run across an ancient civilization. Well, the ruins left by an ancient civilization that predates humanity and predates the time when Antarctica was a cold continent. It's one of his better ones, I would say. And this was at the time when Alfred Wegener's plate hypothesis was becoming more accepted, so good for H.P. Lovecraft for jumping in on that. This book, McBride's first book in the trilogy, suggests the same. We have an ancient civilization that is ancient, but not as ancient that it predates humanity, but it goes back, 5,000 years or whatever. It does bring up one major issue in the book. Antarctica was really cold 5,000 years ago, kind of like it is now. In the book, McBride suggests that Antarctica was shifted swiftly into place kind of at the last minute. And he cites some theory and whatever, and just, no, that didn't happen. There's no evidence for that. So, and some of his other science ends up being kind of questionable as well. So Subhuman, the first novel, spends a lot of time at the beginning introducing us to a whole menagerie of characters. Eventually, they all end up in Antarctica exploring the ruins of this early civilization. They very quickly become a base under siege as they unleash an ancient evil. Been there, done that. I've read and watched better, including a movie that took place in Antarctica. The initial alien is an interesting concept. I will say that. It's a bacteria. Collectively, they take over a body and then turn it into a cone-headed killer. Yeah, conehead. You may have heard of cultures that used to shape children's heads. I'm trying to think. I think some of them were in South America. But anyway, they would just kind of put boards on their heads while their skulls are still flexible to squish them. So apparently this is a very hyper-predatory alien creation made in minutes out of humans. So no. And there was something about crop circles in it, because one of the characters in it is like an ultra commando, plus he's a crop circle investigator guy. But yeah, the aliens cause rapid changes to the body, these bacteria that cause you to become ferocious and under their control. And some of them are drones, some of them have minds of their own. I was unclear on that. But anyway, in general, I find action does not translate well to the written word. Short bursts of action, sure, but long, sustained action, not so much. It just kind of gets, just like in a movie where it's just constant bang, 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 ooh, fight, 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 bang, bang, bang. Yeah, you just kind of go, let me get some story. That's how I felt at points later on. So, it's a lot of words that do nothing, and all the books are like that. Book 2, Forsaken, returns to the Antarctic setting, but with a bigger budget and more knowledge. All for nothing, because you know it's going to go bad or there's no story. Some characters have fallen in love, but it's all formulaic, and who really cares? I like I said, I remember Finger Strummer Girl. That's about the only memorable thing about her. Commando Crop Circle Guy, and there's some other people, but none of them really made an impression on me at all. Through the novels, we also get treated to some settings in the Mayan ruins. They talk about Darankuyu, which is a very interesting underground city. Of course, they attribute this stuff to the aliens, but whatever. And somewhere in the second book, they introduce a second species of alien just for fun. And yeah, there's also human forces that are on the side of the aliens. So yay, we got human enemies too. They get hunted through the Mayan They get hunted through the Mayan ruins by the humans, and also the Darankuyu-like setting by humans. So, yeah, I guess, if aliens come to Earth, some humans will take their side. You'd like to think not, but... So, the series is good at creating suspense, and there's a lot of good cliffhangers, and it definitely holds your attention. Just like I said, it's like junk food. Nothing really stays with you afterwards. But it's filling while you're reading it. The idea of an intelligence built of bacteria was interesting. But again, a lot of the science was very questionable, especially how rapidly humans were turned into aliens. Characters and ideas in this are not memorable. It did use some interesting settings. Darankuyu it actually is reminding me of a whole... Okay, so back when I used to teach 8th grade earth science, I had a project that I'd gotten off of teachengineering.org, which was basically you're planning an underground shelter for the imaginary state of Alabraska, and you had to investigate the geology of the different sites. It reviewed a lot of important earth science concepts, and map reading, and then you had to figure out where you're going to put it, how big does it have to be, and so on. And while they were doing that, I learned about the city of Darankuyu, which is fascinating. It's this whole underground city. I'm guessing that the people that lived there, it's in Turkey. The people that lived there at the time apparently would hide in it. It was definitely designed to resist and repel invaders, and to survive for a long time while they were overrun by invaders. And all built with very simple tools, carved out of the rock. It's amazing if you ever get a chance to study it. So I found this video that was all about Darankuyu, and it was by, I think it was by History Channel. Anyway, I before I show stuff to kids, I watch it. For obvious reasons. And this is one of those times I was so glad I have that policy. Because for the first few minutes, we get a good 3D map of Darankuyu, we get good pictures of Darankuyu, and then they bring on this guy with just this wacky hair. It's like whooshy. Is whooshy a word? Whooshy hair. And he starts talking about aliens. Yeah, the whole thing... It is possible that Darankuyu was built by ancient aliens. Which is fun in a fiction book, which is what these were. Not so much fun when it's a science video that I thought would tie a little bit of history in for 8th graders. So, no, I didn't show that video in class. But, that's what this reminded me of. And, again, it was entertaining. But I've just reviewed 3 novels all in one. I'm never going to bother reading it again. So, if you're looking for a quick, entertaining read, Michael McBride's, what's it called? Unit 51 Trilogy. So, I'm sorry that came off so uninspired, but I wasn't very inspired by the book either. So, all right, well, thank you for watching. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.